Kid going to his first day of school. He looks worried. His dad asks him, "What's wrong?" "Nervous," the kid asks. "How long do I have to go to school for?" "Until you're 18, says the father. Kid nods and thinks about this quietly. When they get to the front gates of the school, the kid says, "Dad, you will remember to come and get me when I'm 18, won't you?" "Patient," says Doc. "My bum hurts." Doctor asks, "Where specifically does it hurt?" Patient says, "Right around the entrance." Doctor says, "Yeah, well, that's the exit. As long as you think it's an entrance, it'll continue to hurt." A cruise ship passes by a remote island, and all the passengers see a bearded man running around and waving his arms wildly. "Captain," one passenger asks, "who is that man over there?" "I have no idea," the captain says, "but he goes nuts every year when we pass him." During a recent password audit, it was found that a blonde was using the following password: Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Huey, Louie, Dewey, Donald, Goofy, Sacramento. When asked why such a long password, she said she was told that it had to be at least 8 characters long and include at least one capital. 2 crows were in a field when they noticed a figure that looked like a man in the distance. "See that over there? What is that?" says the first crow. The second crow takes a long look. "That's a scarecrow. Looks authentic, doesn't it?" "How can you tell it's a scarecrow and not a person?" replies the first crow. "Look at its hand." "No cell phone," says the second crow. 3 friends stranded on a deserted island find a magic lamp. Inside it is a genie who agrees to grant each friend one wish. "I want to go home," says the first friend. The genie grants her wish. "I want to go home too," says the second friend. And the genie sends him back home. "I'm lonely," says the third friend. "I sure wish my friends were back here." One day Max went to see Carl. Carl had a big swollen nose. "Whoa! What happened, Carl?" Max asked. "I sniffed a rose," Carl replied. "What?" Max said. "There's no bee in rose." Carl replied. "There was in this one." 4 men are in the hospital waiting room because their wives are having babies. A nurse goes up to the first guy and says, "Congratulations, you're the father of twins." "That's odd," answers the man. "I work for the Minnesota Twins." A nurse says to the second guy, "Congratulations, you're the father of triplets." "That's weird," answers the second man. "I work for the 3M Company." A nurse tells the third man, "Congratulations, you're the father of quadruplets." "That's strange," he answers. "I work for the Four Seasons Hotel." The last man is groaning and banging his head against the wall. "What's wrong?" the others ask. The last man said, "I work for 7-Up." 2 children ordered their mother to stay in bed on the Mother's Day morning. As she lay there looking forward to breakfast in bed, the smell of bacon floated up from the kitchen. But after a good long wait, she finally went downstairs to investigate. She found them both sitting at the table eating bacon and eggs. As a surprise for Mother's Day, one explained, "We decided to cook our own breakfast."
An MIT linguistics professor was lecturing his class the other day in English. He said, a double negative forms a positive. However, in some languages, such as Russian, a double negative remains a negative. But there isn't a single language, not one, in which a double positive can express a negative. A voice from the back of the room said, "Yeah, right."
A man was driving down the road when a policeman stopped him. The officer looked in the back of the man's truck and said, "Why are these penguins in your truck?" The man replied, "These are my penguins. They belong to me. You need to take them to the zoo," the policeman said. The next day, the officer saw the same guy driving down the road. He pulled him over again. He saw the penguins were still in the truck, but they were wearing sunglasses this time. "I thought I told you to take these penguins to the zoo," the officer said. "I did," the man replied, "and today I'm taking them to the beach." A New York attorney representing a wealthy art collector called his client and said to him, "Saul, I have some good news and I have some bad news." The art collector replied, "I've had an awful day. Let's hear the good news first." The attorney said, "Well, I met with your wife today, and she informed me that she invested $5,000 in 2 pictures that she thinks will bring a minimum of 15 to 20 million. I think she could be right." Saul replied enthusiastically, "Well done. My wife is a brilliant businesswoman. You've just made my day. Now I know I can handle the bad news." "What is it?" the attorney replied. "The pictures are of you with your secretary.